We back with the second video. You just got done basically, clearing up your whole personal information. Now we are moving into the next step of getting your credit repaired. So now we go talk about derogatory accounts. Derogatory accounts, any accounts on your credit report that include basically accounts in collection, you know, those accounts that basically get written off and transferred to another collection agency. Um, those are derogatory accounts. And also, we have number two, accounts that are charged off. Accounts that are charged off are basically accounts that you at one point in time would have basically been paying on and you stop paying on it. And now that account is put into collections. So basically, the creditor that gave you that account charged it off, and they sent it to another debt collection agency. And now the new credit agency has control of that debt. So basically, that's what a charge off is. Um, Now, number three, you have accounts that include multiple late payments. Um, And more than likely, if you have some late payments, like a lot of them, then it definitely has turned into either a collection or a charge off. Either or, collections and charge off, it's kind of hard to explain them fully. Um, whenever I explain them, people really never get it. So basically, it's just a collection. Charge off is collection, and collection is collection. That's basically the easiest way to explain it. Um, but literally, these late payments they are injuring your credit also, and there are letters in the DIY kit that basically explains to you how to get some of these late payments off. You could actually dispute late payments also, and I there's a list of um, CEO emails in the in the letters where it allows you to write the letter or even just mimic the letter how it is and basically just send it to the CEO of that company. Um, but it definitely, if you get some of these late payments off, then that could help you out a lot also because late payments are like a big percentage of your credit file because they want to see that you can actually manage credit and you could pay credit on time. So you definitely would want to basically pinpoint what are your charge offs, what accounts are in collections, and also accounts that are late have late payments where whether it be 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, like these are typical numbers for late payments that come about. Um, Also, there's judgments, not derogatory accounts, but there's judgment um, accounts that are derogatory also that basically just get sent to collections. Um, and you even have bankruptcies. I actually am going to be doing a video on bankruptcies and how to clear those up also. So if you guys want that, please comment below. Yes, do a bankruptcy video. I would definitely love to do that for y'all. I have no problem with doing that for y'all. And so that's basically what derogatory accounts that may be on your credit file, and that's why I'm telling you so you will be able to know how to um, notice what exactly derogatory accounts are on your account, or not your account but your credit file. So first off, you definitely, I would say, you want to dispute all of your derogatory accounts, all of them, because derogatory accounts are bringing your credit score down completely. They are completely just wiping out the algorithm in your whole credit file. So I would say you want to dispute all derogatory accounts, accounts that have late payments, accounts that are charged off, accounts that are in collections. These are all derogatory accounts. Bankruptcies, like I said, I'm going to be doing a video on bankruptcies very soon. Um, so basically, one is always dispute with the credit bureaus first. You have to dispute with the credit bureaus first. it's very imperative that you, like I said, go with the chain of command. The big three: the TransUnion, the Equifax, the Experian. These are the big three. So when you dispute with them first, it makes it easier upon yourself as opposed to going straight to the creditor, because the big three are going to take the necessary steps to even see if it's even worth going forward. So when you go and dispute with all three of the credit bureaus first, then it just makes it a little bit more easier. So number two, never choose a specific dispute reason, like I had said in the prior video. When you start picking these reasons, like even when they put it on Experian, they have Experian too, where you can dispute online. Um, TransUnion, you can dispute on all these platforms, like all three credit bureaus, you can dispute online. I'm telling you, do not dispute any of your accounts online. It's gonna take away from you. I know you get very eager and you want to dispute them online, and I know you might have friends or family that might tell you just dispute it online, but and they might get lucky. Some people do get lucky, but it's definitely a better way to go about it, and more a more efficient way to go about it. Um, you want to request your general investigation first. I'm definitely going to be showing you the letter that you should use that is qualified for your general investigation first. Um, it's going to be coming up soon, like next maybe. Um, and again, I'm sorry I have to pump this and just knock it into your head. Like, you never dispute any of your accounts online. You could, if you want to, you could, even to upgrade your personal information, you could call each individual credit bureau to have them upgrade your information, and to have them remove some of the information that is just not really necessary to be there. But I would say just to do the letter, like the letter, because then they see you as a person that understands the process of credit repair. So definitely, yeah, never dispute online. It definitely will bite you in the butt. It definitely will creep back up on you. So um, and also, when I'm saying, like, when you also, like, the reason why you want to dispute with the bureaus first is that it is like I said, the chain of command. You never want to go to the creditor first, because they'll all, whatever information they do have, they just use it as verification to try to link that account to you. So once you go to the big three like TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, and you try to dispute with them first, they will take the necessary um, guidelines and whatnot of that nature to then reach out to the creditor. And if the creditors are not sufficient enough in verifying that this file is for you, then what do you know? The TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian will say, okay, this creditor could not verify this account. So now what they do is they remove it from all three of your credit accounts, basically. The Experian, like I said, the Equifax, and the Experian. So that's what I say. You want to dispute with them first, and then I will even do more videos if they want to jaws you around and they're not deleting any of these items and things of that nature. I even have more letters in the DIY kit that will allow you to take the next steps necessary if the TransUnion, Experian, or we're just gonna say big three, if the big three are not abiding by what's steps you're taking. So that's what we're gonna say about that, and make sure you always dispute all of the derogatory accounts. And also, I have to say this, because I didn't make a slide for this. So basically, when you have a derogatory account, just know that it's a possibility that these agencies can sue you. Like it's their right, they can sue you. So you need to like look up the statute of limitations in your state, to make sure that you don't fall in that statute of limitations. Because if they do have, if you do have an account that's on your file and you start disputing it, they will probably try to sue you. But at the same time, they first have to acquire the right information to say, okay, well, I understand everything you're saying, which is what I'm explaining to you guys about how to go about how to dispute this. They're going to say, okay, well, we understand that there are inconsistencies, or there is misprinted information, or whatever it may so be. So they do have the right to try to sue you. So I have to let you know that, like, I don't want you guys going into this blind. I want you to make sure that you understand that it definitely is their right to come and try to sue you. But man, most of the time they don't even have the correct information, and most of the time they don't even want to go for people. Like, there's different type of companies that will sue more than others, but don't be scared, man. Don't try to be scared. Like, I've been scared most of my life, and I don't want you guys to be scared. This is not, and more than likely, like, if they do sue you, all they would do is send you, you have to go to court basically, and more than likely they're gonna say, okay, well, we don't want to really take you to court, but we will, but we don't want to take you to court. Is there any way you can settle this? Like, they'll ask you that, like, oh, can you settle this? And if you want to say no, you can say no, but then you're definitely gonna have to go to court. Like, don't be scared to go to court though. Like, all they're gonna do is bring you into court, and they'll basically say, okay, this person, we have verified it, and this collection belongs to them. They don't want to pay, so they'll just garnish your checks or whatever, like that. Like, it's not a scary process at all. So, um, but yeah, I just had to let you guys know that. And also pertaining to, uh, if you have any repos that are on your account, you definitely need to understand that repos get sued more than any other thing. So I need to make sure that you know that. Like, so make sure you check your statute of limitations in the state that you're in, to make sure that you don't fall into that statute of limitations, because they will sue more than others. Like, repo is one of the derogatory accounts that get sued for. So it definitely, like, not to say they will sue you, but I have to let you know that it's a possibility, because like, repos are very serious. They are financed through a bank, and they want their money. So, but still, don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared. All right, I've already told you what the outcome of, if they say, okay, we are going to take you to court. I already told you how that goes about. You're not going to go to jail or anything like that. Like, it's not going to happen. They're just going to take you to court. Nobody likes to be in court, but hey. So, going further, so we have the debt validation. Debt validation letter is also in here. I also have that in the next up and coming slide, that it's gonna basically, I'm gonna basically tell you how to go about this and what to do. So this is like basically how to stop 30 to 40% of collections from ever reaching your credit report. And yeah, I said that, from reaching your credit report, from reaching the big three. Like, you can stop it before it even goes that far. Um, so basically, you want to send a debt validation letter to the debt collector who called you or mailed you information. So every time a collection agency comes after you and they try to basically collect that debt, they will call you. It's definitely, they, before they even send it out to the big three, they have to basically come after you before they send it to the big three. It's against the law for them to just skip the process and send it to the big three. So a lot of people, when they get these debt collecting calls, like, or debt collecting mail, they just basically ignore it. And that's like the worst thing that you could ever do, is ignore these debt collectors, because it's a way that you can stop them before it even gets to the big three. So I'm definitely going to show you the debt validation letter. And so the next one is must be before the item reaches the credit bureau. This is a dunning period. The dunning period is what I'm talking about, is when they get a hold of you and they try to collect the debt, and you have a certain period of time to send the debt validation letter back to the initial collection agency. Um, the dunning period is very, very, very important. So like a lot of people, like I said, they get very scared and they just ignore them, but this is very, very important, that you shouldn't ignore any of the collection agencies that send you anything. With this debt validation letter, you should never send your ID. You should never send anything that shows your face or anything like that. Like if they're coming for you, then they must have a suspicion that it's you. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to like take this opportunity in the dunning period to even have them validate that debt. You know, so and also when you send the debt validation letter, you want to send it certified so you can have a paper trail. You want to send it certified so you can have proof that you basically sent that debt validation letter to whoever is coming to try to collect a debt from you. You don't want to sign your signature. You can write this letter like I have it for you. You could send the letter back to the debt collector and do not sign it. You type it. Yeah, just type it. It's already there for you. When after under the best regards, you type it, your name. Don't sign it. Don't send any of your ID or anything like that. Basically, you're going and you're not doing anything wrong. You're basically saying, okay, since you're saying this, that this is my debt, can you validate this debt? That's all you're saying. And it's the burden of proof is on them. They have to be able to validate that debt. So, like I said, very important. Send certified. Do not sign your signature. Do not send your ID. And like I said in the prior video, do not speak with any collector over the phone. Always request that they communicate with you via mail only. I'm telling you, this is very, very important that you know. Do not talk to any of the collectors on the phone. You don't have to. It's not against the law. You literally can say, I do not wish to talk to you. Can you please communicate via mail only? Only. It's okay for you to say that. And do not skip this dunning process, this dunning period. Do not skip it. It's very, 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 very important. It could save you a lot of time, because most of the time these debt collectors don't even have the correct information to be able to validate that debt. So, and if you do go this route, this debt validation letter should be sent in the dunning period. I'll say it again, this debt validation letter should be sent in the dunning period. The dunning period is when a debt collector either calls you or mail you before the collection has ever even showed up on the big three, which is Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. That's the dunning period. You have to take action in that period, because if you don't, then they definitely will send it to the credit bureaus, and it will definitely show up on your credit profile. Okay, so we're just going to talk about the first letter. The first letter is the bureau investigation letter. This is not again, I say, the this is not the letter that I was just talking about. So this letter right here, and if you get confused, you can ask me however you want to do it. You can ask me, you can comment, whatever. The Bureau investigation letter, basically, when you start to find all these negative accounts, these derogatory accounts, you it's very simple. You fill out your name, you fill out your address, you fill out the city and state, your zip code, whichever creditor has the account that you would like to dispute. Then that's where you put the creditor's name and the creditor's address and the city and so forth. You can leave the letter to remove inaccurate credit information. Um, Basically, it's just stating recently I looked at a copy of my credit report and noticed several incorrect accounts. I feel that these accounts are adversely affecting my credit report and costing me thousands of dollars in interest every year. It is my understanding that you will investigate these items for me to ensure accuracy. Basically, all it's saying is that you would like an initial, like I said, general investigation of the account that you want to dispute. Okay? So basically, here are the items that you are basically asking to verify that are accurate. You can list more than three. You can go as many as you like. Whatever accounts that you see on your credit file that you would like to initially open an investigation for, just to make sure that they are verifiable and accurate, you can list as many as you want. But before you do this investigation letter, which is round one, this let me state that first. This investigation letter is round one. The one prior to this, the letter that you have sent before the personal information update, is just to start the process. So once you have basically cleared out all of that information with the big three, with your personal information, now you're going to send this first round letter from basically noticing what is derogatory on your credit profile. So once you figure out what is derogatory on your credit profile, you are going to list them on this letter and basically state you would like an investigation to take place on the individual credit profiles or the individual accounts. Okay? Very simple, very easy. Now, this is the letter that I was speaking about the Dunning period, the debt validation letter. I probably should have switched them around, but I explained that last one, so hopefully you can grasp what that letter is for. But this is the letter that is only used for the Dunning period. Do not send this letter as a round one letter. It is not for that. This letter is specifically used for when the creditor, before it gets to the big three, it is used for the creditor for that debt validation. So, like I was explaining to you, the Dunning period, when they get a hold of you and they try to come after you for the collection, this letter is basically stating, okay, since you are coming for me after this collection, I would like for you to validate this debt. I need to make sure that the name and address of the creditor to whom debt is currently owed. You start listing basically all the information that you need to basically allow them to validate this debt. But if they can't, that means they have to remove it. That means that they can't validate that debt. Okay? I know it might seem a little confusing, but I'm letting you know that and telling you that this debt validation letter is only used for accounts that have not made it to the big three yet. Okay? I'm explaining this as easy as I can. This letter is only used for the Dunning period. This letter is only used for the accounts that haven't reached the big three yet. Okay? So it's very simple. Like I've been saying, you do your name, address, and you do the creditor, which would be the credit agency that is trying to come for you for the collection. The account number, you could basically change that to where you just do debt validation. That's very simple. Just change it to debt validation. Then you do dear collector's name, dear whatever the collector's name is that's trying to come for you, and you basically just start lining out a whole bunch of information that you would want from them to validate this debt. If they cannot validate the debt, then they have to remove that debt from their credit agency. Like, it's very simple. So they can't. And like I think I said it earlier, but I'm gonna just say it again. If they cannot validate that debt, then they cannot send it to the big three. So, and also in this dunning period, if you don't respond, they will send it to the big three. But also, they can't send it to the big three without first issuing you, um, telling you basically, okay, we have acquired this debt and we want to come to you and tell you that you owe this amount of money. They have to let you know. They can't send it to the big three unless they let you know first, okay? So that's how that goes. Do not send this debt validation letter as a round one. You send the round one letter after you have cleaned up your personal information. The round one letter was the last letter that I just showed you, okay? So, moving on. That's about the gist of everything that is pertaining to the debt validation letter and sending off your round one. Hopefully, it made sense. If it didn't make sense, you could definitely ask me in the comments below, and I'll explain it a little better. Um, so yeah, that's basically what this video is about. And if you have any questions, please ask them. I am more than willing to help you out with this process. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all get to a 750 or a 650 or whatever it may so be. But you got to clear up all of this credit, man.